I had the great honour to speak at a conference of Palestinian socialists in Israel just a few days ago. These Palestinians had called a conference to demand the right of return of the refugees and for a one-state solution. But when news of the atrocity in the high seas broke, they all left the conference and went back to their Arab towns and villages inside Israel. You may have seen pictures of one of these towns. It's called El Al-Fahim. It's the second largest Arab town in Israel. And they called a demonstration which was on all the world's media. You may also have noticed, as a Palestinian woman MP, she was on one of the boats. She was arrested. When she got back to Israel, she received hundreds of death threats, and she was told, "Go back to Gaza, you're a traitor." What this tells us, there's no such thing as Israeli democracy. There's just Israeli oppression. Now we're standing outside 10 Downing Street. I want to tell you about another critic of Israel who's an Israeli scholar. And he used to be a supporter of Israel. He's called Professor Avi Schleim. He just wrote a book where he denounces the Balfour Declaration, which is the document, the founding document of Israel, where he says 10 Downing Street, Britain had no right to impose a Zionist colony on Palestine. All of the increasing tensions, conflict, violence flows from that action. Now, the question is, what do we do about it? I'm sure you've heard of a new movement. It's got 3 letters: boycott, disinvestment, sanctions. This is a worldwide movement. It's taking off everywhere. I had the good fortune to be part of a number of members of my union, the University College and Lecturers Union, who brought over from South Africa leading members of the African National Congress and, crucially, CASATU, the black trade union. They did a speaking tour in Britain about boycott, disinvestment, sanctions. When Israel tried to dock a ship in Durban during the Israeli siege on Gaza, South African dock workers refused to unload it. This is the kind of action we need. CASATU is campaigning to stop a minority of South African Zionist supporters joining the Israeli Defense Forces. This is the kind of action we need. CASATU is campaigning for the university in South Africa to break all links with Israeli universities. This is exactly the kind of action that we need. But there's something else. On that tour in Britain, those South African freedom fighters were joined by an Egyptian trade unionist. There is in Egypt today a new campaign against the rotten Mubarak regime. Independent trade unionists from Egypt are also joining the campaign. We need this coalition in the Arab world and this wider coalition to stop the Israeli state, to overturn the Zionist structure of the Israeli state. Thank you.